Yeah, we've already got comments.
Yeah. Oh, do we? Oh, you know what, Christopher? So, like, I'm kind of really upset with political crap. So let's just take some comments and answer questions.
All right, let's see here.
Right now.
Okay, all right. Well,
wow.
I got that one. Thanks for contributing to the show here.
Holy shit.
My name's Chris. This is Tricia. Leave a comment.
Hi, hello.
Leave a comment if you want to. What should we talk about? Leave a comment here for us.
Oh, my goodness. So, a lot has happened since we spoke last. Obviously, we have the changing of the guard, and so we have a new president and some other interesting things happening. So maybe we could talk about that, but that was...
Have we talked since... Yeah, have we talked since the insurrection, or did we talk right after that? I think we talked right after it.
Right after it, yes. So we did observe the insurrection, which was amazing. And now I'm understanding that a lot of people are upset with their family, and it's like dividing people, this insurrection. So, which is...
I mean, insurrections have a way of doing that.
yeah, hey,
I mean,
like trying to murder people and overtaking government,
Listen, overtaking government's one thing, but trying to murder people's a whole different thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like the whole last year, I just feel has really strained the bonds between people and caused a level of suspicion amongst Americans inside friend circles, family circles that just didn't ever exist in my lifetime. I mean, I'm 37, and there are just people in my life where I just like, I don't know, that little like side eye, where you're just like, I don't know if I trust this person because they have such crazy beliefs.
Well, being 29, Christopher, I would quite agree. But no, what you're talking about, it's really creepy, actually. I just had a lunch with a friend, and her husband is very much a conservatarian, and they have like a break in their relationship because of this. I think that's very sad that like politics can like hurt a marriage. I think that's really weird.
Well, I think that there are just some people where politics becomes such a... I mean, I know it affects my personality. I know that I'm my girlfriend will look at me and be like, "You're just so morose." I'm like, "How can you not be?" Because I'm swimming in that pool all day. But then, if you're married to somebody who believes something that is just falsifiable, or it's just clearly not true, you sort of go, "This is an intelligent." I mean, I don't know if you have like QAnon people in your world, but I have some in my family, and it's just sort of like, this is an intelligent person with values, and like they kind of don't care that Kyle Rittenhouse is killing people, that they kind of want Trump to turn the 82nd Airborne on people. They don't really care. They defend George Floyd's killers. Like, it's just sort of, you go, you've been on the wrong side of violence all year long. Like, what is up?
Well, I mean, I think that a lot of that is, it's just tooling, the political tooling. Like, it's, are you left versus right? And I don't think a lot of people understand that. That's really fucking crazy. Like, if you're going to defend somebody for that, then you're maybe a little bit crazy too. Like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of really normal, stable people defend Q, which is really creepy in my opinion.
Because isn't there like 200? Yeah, there's like 275 Q predictions that have been that just never came true, and yet people still like believe it. And you can go and look at this Watkins family that runs 8kun and like just take a look at the guy and his big fake teeth.
Can we just throw that out there? If you're following Q, you're an idiot because it's not true and it's not a real thing. Stop.
I don't know how you get people. So I guess I just don't. Have you ever dealt with somebody in your life who had strange beliefs And hey, if you're listening, if you've got family members that have kind of, maybe you're on the other side of it where you're like a conservative and you just can't believe that people don't get that. Like, how can you not see that this was stolen? Like, love to, please leave a comment, leave a question. We'd love to talk to you, but here on stereo.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Q thing is interesting. So essentially it starts on 8chan, and Vice has a great documentary on this. And so it starts on 8chan, and it's just a guy who was a guy or a gal basically saying, I'm on the inside. Hillary Clinton's going to be arrested on Monday. The whole thing's going to come down. And there's always like a little drop of impending. And so basically Q will leave little breadcrumbs. And then there's what's called bakers who then take those breadcrumbs and bake it into a theory. And it's like a top tier of like 3 or 4 or 5 YouTube people who then like turn it into a whole theory and explain everything. And then people go crazy with it, and it's turned into a whole community of people, and it's sort of like looking for clues. And so it's a digital scavenger hunt where you're like researching every word Donald Trump says and every gesture, like what is on the Christmas tree, and everything becomes a meaning. And it basically is like the gamification of politics. And it's like, but it has like real life consequences, apparently.
So there's a woman that was elected as a congresswoman that lost her seat because she believed in this. So, like, what are your thoughts on that? Like,
wait, she lost or she got elected?
No, she was elected and she lost her seat. Have you been following that?
Oh yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who lost her committee seat.
Yeah, it's insanity. Like, she was a Q person, and like they're like, yeah, you're crazy.
Okay, so
we're gonna take your House seat.
Yeah, I mean the House itself. So caucuses, the lead, the majority puts forth who they want on committees, and then the House just approves that. But the House is in control of who sits on what committees, not the caucus. So, the Democrats have the majority, so they have the ability to vote her off of these committees. And this isn't without precedent. I mean, Justin Amash votes against some military funding, and they took him off of his committees. So, Steve King was stripped of his committees when he was just doing racist stuff. So it happens, and it's totally up to the House if they want to do that. I mean, I know she's apologized, and I know she said that she didn't run her Facebook page, and like other people liked the comment about how she should be, how Nancy Pelosi should be killed and all this stuff. Like, there's got to be boundaries if you're in an institution like Congress, especially one that has an enormous amount of power. It is very easy for public discourse to get wildly out of control in a country. And so I don't think it's inappropriate for a body like Congress to say, like, promoting violence is not acceptable and we will not tolerate it, especially given that we are Congress in charge of all this force. So if people are listening and don't know, like, government is force. It's in control. Like, if Congress passes a law and you don't follow it, they can put you in jail or kill you. Mm-hmm. Whereas if Tricia and I declare a law and then you don't follow it, we can't do anything to you. Right? So
right. Well, the magical government people have special rights.
Right.
That's the difference.
I do think people are kind of overreacting to the woman. Like, everybody overreacts to AOC and everything she does, and it's sort of like it'd be better if everybody just ignored the fringes, and like the center has the power. That's the beautiful part about the Constitution, is that Joe Manchin has all the power, and he's on both sides of things. It's not AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Steve King, and it's people kind of in the center. So, but there has to be limits. Like, and cancel culture is what it is, but it's like Dominion. Okay, Tricia, you're an anarchist. You don't believe in any form of government whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Dominion is suing Rudy Giuliani and all these news outlets for like millions of dollars for the lies that they perpetrated. You don't, even in an anarchist society, there's going to be defamation, libel, and slander laws. Like, you can't just lie about people. There's going to be consequences. And I see anarchists all the time, Tricia, say, well, this is cancel culture. You should be able to say whatever you want about these companies and ruin their bottom line.
Well, I don't agree with them. That's called contract, and contract law is a cornerstone of an anarchist society. So if you are not true to your word, then you need to be held accountable to it.
So you're saying I can't just say about you whatever I want.
No.
But I thought liberty was no consequences for my actions.
Liberty is the rule of law. It's not a government coercive rule of law. It's still law. Like, I hate that. I hate that people look at liberty and anarchism as some sort of lawlessness, because it's the opposite. It's people owning responsibility, and like you can't get away with shit because there's contracts and there's laws and there's there's not government, but there's people enforcing things that mean a lot more to them than some random person in Washington, D.C. That's what anarchism is.
Yeah, and I think if we're going to have a system where you have government and you give it the power of force, the monopoly of violence, essentially, you've got to hold those people to a way higher standard than just your average person. You can't be a person that can vote on life or death situations in Yemen or the United States and then just be a violent, awful person. Like, there has to be some consequences for the wackier stuff. The problem where it breaks down is where the media will hold one side accountable but not the other. So, you really have to hold, and I know character is like an impossible standard for people to have in politics. And it's sort of like a foreign notion to say that a person should have honor if they're in public service in 2021. But like, you really have to, I just think that, like, I'm okay with there being some consequences for her being okay with violence. Like, you're in charge of power, and power needs to be wielded responsibly, and checking you is the only way that's going to happen. And the Republicans certainly aren't going to do it because they're a bunch of spineless cowards. And so that's how I feel about it. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
No, I feel the same way, but I look at the government, and it's just so depressing. Like, I've been really thinking about anarchism and like how I deal with government and what people do, and I just hate the fact that anarchists have responded to AOC's statement in the way that they have. Like, I think it's disgusting, and I think, do I want to be in an anarchist society with these people? I'm not really sure.
Dude, that's how I felt. I've said this to you. If all anarchists were like you, I'd be all on board. And, so I'm just going to stay a libertarian. Like, if every anarchist were like Spike Cohn, I'd be all down for it. But, like, I look at the race to defend Marjorie Taylor Greene by libertarians and anarchists while absolutely trying to destroy AOC. And you just go, all right, you guys are the exact reason why she is so paranoid about being hunted. Like, you guys are the problem. I
don't blame her. I would feel the same way if I was her. So, like, I'm not gonna. I don't understand. I don't understand the hate for her. To be honest, I just don't hate anybody. Like, what I hate is war and murder. That's what I hate. Like, I don't have time to hate anything else. Like. So
I give so little.
It's weird for me to focus on a human.
I give so little energy to the alphabet Congress people that I just don't. I can't get angry or like. So if you don't know the story, AOC went on a live stream, said she is a victim of sexual violence, and said that she was very triggered that day and hiding out in her office. So people were in the Capitol. That doesn't just mean the domed building. They were all
right. Her office connected.
They were all connected. They were in the buildings, and apparently a police officer walked in and shouted, "Where is she?" And she was hiding, so she didn't see it was a police officer. She just heard a loud, aggressive, "Where is she?" And she was very triggered by that and scared. And then eventually someone came and rushed her to a different office, and she just talked about how awful that was. And instead of hearing that human being's story and going, wow, I really feel empathy for that person who was scared in that moment, it's turned into this really ugly thing that conservatives are just showing how cretinous they are and trying to say, well, was she even really a victim of sexual violence? She wasn't even in the Capitol. She's completely lying. She's just this, like, you know.
And that really triggers me. As a person who has been subjected to sexual assault, it really, really gets under my skin when people victim shame. Like it, you know, and I disagree with her in so many instances, but you know what? She's saying that she didn't lie. Everything she says, like, holds weight with me, and it's okay for her to say that. And she's a victim of sexual assault, and I'm okay with that. Like, I don't have to agree with her politically, and I can still believe her. And I've seen just a really ugly side of the movement, and it's really bothered me lately.
The amount of people that have committed suicide after that, I have friends that work on the Hill, like the amount of like calls to suicide hotlines from people who worked on the Hill that day. Like, it was a very frightening day. And instead of just saying, we should never let this happen again, this was horrible, no human being like AOC should feel the way that she felt, she shouldn't feel hunted. We sit here and go, well, no, let's just keep creating the conditions that will make this worse. And you guys are just overreacting. Like, you're overreacting to Marjorie Taylor Greene. You're overreacting to the insurrection. And, oh, my God, AOC said something out loud. It's just insane to me. And it's like, it's so nakedly obvious what side you're on.
Obsessed with her. Yeah, the right is obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
And it's funny because can you imagine if somebody on the left, like if this had happened, say it was a BLM rally and they came into the Capitol. Not that they ever did that, but say that happened. Could you imagine, like, people dismissing?
No, I'd be sitting here. I would be sitting here going, here's how you deal with people that you disagree with. If you don't agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene, you have some legal ramifications, like taking her off of some committees. She's living. She's fine. She will survive. Her fundraising's probably gone way up. When you have somebody that you don't agree with, you don't hunt them like an animal, you know, or cheer for people who would love to do that, which is the problem with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's liking comments and standing with photos with guns aimed at AOC's head. Like, there isn't in this instance a moral equivalent between Marjorie Taylor Greene and AOC, and people should stop making it a binary choice. Like, her story is her story. I guess I listened to it all, and I saw somebody post, I think it was Reinhold, Tricia, that spoke to exactly what you're saying.
Oh, Lord.
AOC is never going to see your horrible comment about AOC and saying that she's not a victim of what she says she's a victim of. But your friends who went through it will, and they're going to judge you because they've been through what she's been through, and they see you.
Well, and to that point, I've actually received about 4 messages from women that have been victims of sexual assault that have expressed their concern for the way that the liberty movement is reacting. So, yeah, it's a real thing, and it's disgusting, to be honest. And all I can say to them is, you know, don't be afraid to share your story, and don't let these people shame you or make you be silent. You know, share your story. But how disgusting is that these women that love liberty can't share their story of assault and violence because they're scared of being blamed for it. It's really gross. It's disgusting, honestly. And it makes me question, like, which is bad. It makes me question the liberty movement, which I shouldn't, because, you know, it's not most people, but it's really disheartening.
It doesn't make me question libertarians. This whole last year's made me question humans. And so that's where I kind of go, all right, I've been really close. You say I'm an anarchist, but like I look around over the last year and it makes me go, is that society going to really work with people like this?
Yeah.
You know, it makes me question, it makes me go, all right, so maybe we do need some monopolization of force in the court system and in some criminal justice avenues, like, because I just don't know that, you know, but then again, how do you trust people to like have the monopoly of violence, because obviously they're not going to use it the right way, you know? I mean, so it's an impossible system. I mean, as a Christian, you kind of go, we're never going to get it right. We got
even so, Lord, quickly come.
Yes, amen. So we've got a bunch of comments stacking up here, so let's hear from some folks.
Okay.
So can you at least acknowledge that Pennsylvania broke its own laws, its own voter laws? Can you at least acknowledge that?
Yeah, so...
I don't know enough about that
no,
to even comment.
So, no, I will not admit that Pennsylvania broke their own laws, quote unquote. There is a dispute that went to the Supreme Court that wasn't settled. So the Republicans claim that the Democrats violated the law, and the court system has not agreed with that. But they were looking for every opportunity to try and cheat in this election. I mean, that's just like Donald Trump told us in September what he was going to do in challenging the election and how he was going to do it. It was in the front cover of the Atlantic. We did an episode on it on the Chris Spangle show about it. Like, it was very obvious what they were going to do. So if you're showing up on like October 15th or November 15th going, wait, there were problems with the election and they're contesting it. Wow, there's a lot of issues. Like, you should have been paying attention in like August when the actual rules were changed. So I don't know enough about the law. I just know that it is what is being contested in Pennsylvania is two political factions fighting over what the law says. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they, quote unquote, broke their own laws, because the nature of law is where you have disagreements over an action, right? And so the Supreme Court had enough concern. Samuel Alito had enough concern that they said, you need to separate the way that ballots are counted. You need to make sure that this set of ballots are watched over. You need to have these rules set in place to make sure that you don't mess it up. So, you know, this year was messy with a lot of election law in a lot of states, with people trying to scramble to do vote by mail or absentee mailing. So yeah, I mean, I acknowledge that there should be a dispute. It should go to court. It should be heard. Evidence should be presented. So that's the extent of it.
But was it?
No, it says, you know, it doesn't matter what the facts are. He's picked a side.
Speaking of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert being the two main examples of U.S. representatives that are Q people, I was just talking to my friends about how wild it was that we have representation in the government for these people, but I don't remember. I think it might have been that Vice documentary you guys mentioned. I think 1 in 10, or it's either 10% or 15% of the U.S. population roughly is a Q person. And I guess in that way, it kind of makes sense that the U.S. House of Representatives is going to have people who believe in it too. That was just wild to me.
Go ahead, Tricia.
I mean, yes. Yeah, that is wild, to be honest. And I think that kind of shows the strength of the internet and weird conspiracy theories. And so it's kind of sick and sad.
Yeah, so there's a really good podcast that I listen to every episode. It's called The Remnant with Jonah Goldberg, and he just had on a guy who is a conspiracy theory expert. And he said that if you look into the polling and all the studies that have been done, really it's like less than 2% is really into Q. And so it's not as big of a thing as the media, and he kind of the media blows it way out of proportion for clicks. And so there's not as many Q people as you think. And yeah, like people keep kind of saying that, like Rand Paul made this argument, Tricia, where, you know, I don't think the election was stolen, but a lot of people do, and so I need to represent them. And it's just sort of a cynical way to like pretend you're on their team. Like, just pick a side. Mm-hmm. You're either Mitt Romney or you're Ted Cruz. Like, and even Ted Cruz is full of crap, and everybody knows it. Like, pick a side. Like, none of this. We're here to represent the freak caucus. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
Oh, sorry, Tricia.
When did she apologize? That's all she had to do. If she just would have apologized, not explain her position, but just apologize, and she would be on the committee still, and everything would still be good. But she couldn't even bring herself to do that because of what she believes.
Yeah, so Marjorie Taylor Greene, they had a House conference about 3 or 4 days ago and gave a speech and apologized for all this stuff. Now, this is what was kind of leaked out of it. There wasn't video or any of that kind of stuff. And so she just said, I was wrong, I shouldn't have done this, and got a standing ovation. Now, the media didn't report the first part except for a couple honest outlets. They just reported that she got a standing ovation, so it looked like, oh, all the Republicans are clapping for the conspiracy theorist woman, and when in fact she was saying, like, I'm really sorry, I'm contrite for how this has been portrayed, I'm sorry what it's done for you guys, so to her credit, she at least has apologized. I think she should be a little more forceful in public, but, who knows what'll happen. But now, like, removing her from committees just kind of makes her a victim in their eyes because it's all grievance politics, Tricia.
Well, I mean, she should be removed, like, right quick. She's insane.
Yeah.
So, bye.
Yeah. The less power, the better.
I don't take any issue with, what happened with her. She's nuts, and people that are nuts should not be in a position of power. So, but apparently that's most people. So.
Don't you think everybody's nutty about something? Like, there's stuff you're nutty about, right?
Well, okay. Why are you going to make me look nuts?
No. I'm not going to ask you what it is, but
we're going to talk about people going to the moon right now.
Like, let's be fair and balanced and give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't condone any of the violent stuff because I'm non-violent, right? But like, right. Okay, if she believes some crazy things and believes in this Q stuff, what about people who believe like Lyndon Johnson killed JFK? Like, can they not serve on committees? Like, where does that end?
I mean, I don't know. The Q stuff is really far-fetched. I don't know. But, I mean, we could talk all day about the CIA and the JFK killing if you want to do that. But we might lose listeners.
We might gain listeners, apparently. All right, let's go to the next one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What do you think about Bernie Sanders being the new head of chair of the budget committee? I want to hear your thoughts on that.
All right, Tricia, what are your thoughts of Bernie Sanders being in charge of the budget committee?
It's sweet irony. A man that knows nothing about balancing a checkbook.
It's kind of like putting Marjorie Taylor Greene in charge of the Space Force with her Jewish lasers.
Yes, exactly. I mean, like, I have this weird affection for Bernie because he's so freaking weird. But, yeah, he's horrible. I mean, just honestly, he has no, he doesn't understand economics, like, at all.
No, he doesn't understand economics at all. And, like, one of the biggest problems that the United States faces is the imbalanced budget. And you've got somebody who is willing to...
It's not overcomable. It doesn't really matter at this point, to be honest. Just keep writing it up because it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, they're just going to print dollars to chase away inflation.
Right. It doesn't. To me, in my opinion, just keep making fake money.
But you still can't enact like a $36 trillion new Green Deal and
why not
print enough? No, you just can't. Like you have to the limits of MMT, modern monetary theory. Like Japan has like 40% of their GDP printed, which is why they have stagflation. America has like 12 or 13%. And so we're like the worst house on the block in a bad neighborhood, right? So like if you overprint, it just, you completely seize up any kind of economic growth. So like Bernie Sanders just can't do all the stuff that he plans, but he hasn't talked to anybody who like understand, like even the Fed people who will print this money are like, I don't think that's a good idea. So it's just not right. It's sort of cynical in the way that it lies to people in the same way that Trump was going to make Mexico pay for the wall. It's just dishonest. It's never going to happen. And it's not.
I gotta say, I think maybe it's not going to happen. I'm getting a little concerned about that wall.
All right, next comment.
I can tell you guys are not Gen Z. You are definitely millennials.
Listen here, young whippersnapper. I am right at the beginning of the millennial generation. So why? I'm
like way younger than Chris. I'm like 29.
I really kind of feel insulted by that question, and I try to be nice to listeners, but madam, go fuck yourself.
I'm younger than Christopher, so go fuck yourself.
I'm really trying to find out what y'all think of Bernie Sanders becoming the new chairman of the budget committee. Pretty much holding the purse strings of the country right now.
Next one.
Yeah, cancel culture is pretty toxic, and I think it's unfair. Well, I want to know what your feeling is on how a lot of society is trying to cancel the German superstar Sir Furtenflaus. I think it's pretty messed up. He's done a lot for music, and he's one of my biggest inspirations, like, ever.
I had Superfenflaus once, and it cleared up in a day and a half. It's nothing to worry about.
I actually speak German, so.
What did he say?
He was asking about some guy that's like a German superstar.
You really are like girls who took German in high school were of a certain quality. And you were.
I had 7 years of German. Like I can speak it pretty fluently.
But why? Were you like goth or what?
I'm not sure. I don't really know. No, so I was I was a music major, and my dad was an opera singer, and I was trained in that. So he studied in Österreich, which is Austria.
What do you generally think of cancel culture?
I think a lot of people complain about it. It's total bullshit and doesn't exist, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. There's no such thing as cancel culture. Like people believe you or they don't. Like people like you or they don't. Just like I don't know.
I think
I don't think.
Here's where I come down on it. I think millennials like myself, young lady, and Gen Z grew up with very what's called transgressive cultural figures like Howard Stern and South Park.
What does that even mean?
Okay, so
oh my God, what does that
transgressive art takes social boundaries and defies them intentionally. So like think John Waters with cross-dressing movies in the 1980s, like knowing it's going to inflame the censors, right? And so, we grew up in an era where you had Fuck the Police, and you had Marilyn Manson, and they're all being hauled in front of Congress, and they're putting warning labels on Eminem. And so, millennials kind of had a reaction to a lot of that, and it's split down the middle. One group of millennials went like, we need to be as woke as possible and we need to be empathetic. And then the other went, we need to defy the censors and be as transgressive as possible. Let's learn the rules and fight against it. And I think people kind of come down on one of two sides. Like, let's be empathetic to people. Let's be empathetic to new ways of thinking and new people. And then there's the other people who are like, fuck you, I don't want to do whatever you want me to do, and if you tell me what to do, I'm going to do the opposite. And I think that lane on the left there let's say on the right, who are like the transgressive people, like people who like Barstool, a lot of libertarians, a lot of people who are like Trump fans are kind of they're transgressive. They like Trump because he was defying the normal order of social bounds, right? And that inflames the other side, let's say on the left, and the people who kind of go, there should be consequences, and so we should cancel people, quote unquote. And so, like, the reality is it's somewhere in the middle. Should, like, some dude have his life ruined because he tweeted something 10 years ago and he's getting fired from his dream job at a newspaper? No, that should not happen. That's totally irrational. Is Lou Dobbs being fired from Fox News because he is a legal liability now? That's not cancel culture. Those are consequences, right? So, like, cancel culture has started with a very, like, small subset of meaning people like what's her name, Jenny whatever her face, where she flew from America to South Africa and had tweeted something, and I think she said, "I hope I don't get AIDS." And then by the time she landed in South Africa, her whole life was ruined. You know, she'd been fired and removed from the boards. Her apartment wanted her out. Like, her life has never recovered from it because of one tweet. So, like, that's overkill, right?
What would you say is cancel culture then? Like, what is justified?
Well, what I'm saying is that it used to mean that one thing, and now it means everything, because the people who are transgressive are also the biggest fucking whiners on the planet, who sit there and complain about how there are consequences. Like, it's like my little brother when we would ride in the car and he'd punch me in the arm and he'd punch me in the arm and he'd punch me in the arm. And then I would turn around and smack him in the face, and then he'd wail, and then I would get in trouble, right? Well, no, it's like, if you're the one who's starting it and you're the one who wants to be all transgressive badass who is defying society, don't get pissed off when everybody goes, hey, you need to just sit over here and get yourself together. You know, like, that's a normal reaction. Like, read some fucking Dale Carnegie instead of Michael Malice.
Yeah. I don't think many of the listeners know who Michael Malice is.
That was just me being transgressive against our own people and being intentionally inflammatory towards libertarians.
Yes.
And there will be consequences because we'll get a bunch of, you're just a fucking libtard on all your reviews.
I don't care. I don't care about that anymore.
Good.
I'm over being called a leftist. I just don't care.
Yeah, but like, the whole cancel culture thing has just kind of taken on a meaning, and it's being applied to too many things. And so it's just, I've kind of checked out on it. Like, if anybody's in the intellectual dark web, I just don't listen to their show anymore. It's sort of boring to me.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, so you like the normies?
I love normies. I would spend my whole life I wanted to spend with normies, like this person here.
Hey guys, you are so cool.
Thank you so much, young lady.
Thank you.
Or man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, you guys. Could I make an analogy about the AOC vilification? Because I'm sitting here. I heard Ginger Archie, say she doesn't understand the vilification of her, and I was thinking, well, does she mean she doesn't understand it, or she doesn't approve of it? I think it's irrational, and I think it's wrong. And I'm a Democrat, and I am not an AOC fan. But the vilification of her, I mean, it's illogical to me. It doesn't make sense. I was pointing out what I thought was stupid about it just a couple of nights ago on this app. But here's the analogy I want to make. When the country gets ready to go to war, and so they know the American people won't understand all the conditions that make, say, going to war in that country sensible. So instead of discussing the ethnic groups in the country, etc., they just take one person in the country, maybe the leader, and make that Saddam Hussein or whoever he is like the worst demon ever. I'll finish next message.
Okay, let's go to his next message.
Why aren't we electing people who have more experience versus like the pristine playboys? Why don't we elect people that have explored the world and are totally the crazy people? You know what I mean? Why not? We've elected all the good boys. So let's start electing other people and see what kinds of leadership we get.
Well, that would mean libertarians.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell. I think that these two comments. I want to go to the next one, but I'm afraid that maybe I don't want to get three without us responding it. But like with AOC, I think you're totally right. Like Tricia, we are meme emperors. We run meme empires ourselves. And the thing about memes and the thing about propaganda in general is exactly what he said. Like, it started out where she was socialist. She had these revolutionary ideas that people on the right strongly reject to. And instead of making it, and I just have had a policy on the We Are Libertarians Facebook page and our brand from the beginning, like, no AOC memes. And I had the same policy for Trump memes until, like, he just lost his shit this summer. And then I was just like, nah, fuck it.
Right.
But even then, I really try hard never to share memes that I feel like are unfair and like make fun of people in a way that, like, I wouldn't make fun of somebody's looks. Like, I never shared like the Donald Trump is so orange meme or, AOC is so stupid meme, because I don't think she's stupid. But like, I think people want they want to go after her in a very mean and personal way that they don't do to other people. Like, they don't do to other figures. And the right treats AOC like the left treats Donald Trump, and it's just driven up her name ID.
Oh yeah, the obsession has made her more popular. They're obsessed with her, much to their dismay. I don't know why, because if they think she's stupid, then why is she worth all of that time? I don't get it. But it's kind of the same, like making stupid memes out of leftists or whatever. But Kamala, a lot of people like making sexual memes for Kamala. I don't think that.
Yeah, like I
wrote an attack against her. Like, there's a lot of things that she has done that are horrible and that I can't stand about her. But I really don't think attacking like her sexual history is really the way to go.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, there's no reason to bring up Willie Brown in San Francisco. Don't Google it. All right.
No.
No, I'm totally with you. I just think, like, it's like when Republicans don't ever learn their own lessons. It's like, it was totally unfair when people were going after Mitt Romney and the dog thing. Like, apparently, like, tied his dog to a roof or something. Like, and it was,
which is kind of weird.
They just kind of made that shit up, and then they're doing it to other people. I don't know. I try really hard that if I ever had to meet the person and talk to them face to face, I would be comfortable saying to them what I say online, and that I apply that to politicians.
Because that's probably not
what.
That's a really high standard to hold yourself to. So.
Yeah, no, but I would say everything I say about everything that I say about Donald Trump is not. It's like, here's the dilatory effects he has, or deteriorating effects.
That word for cereal.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go to the next comment.
Okay.
I think in general, it works throughout, a lot of aspects of a lot of things, politics, government, war, whatever. It's easier to get people to wrap their mind around one person being evil than to wrap their mind around, an ideology being the problem, or, what I mean? Something more systemic or something broader, being a problem. So, and I don't just accuse, one party or, one side of the aisle of doing this. It happens in politics that you take a person, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, or Boehner or whoever, and they become the personification of evil. And I think I've seen voters respond to that. The average voter who doesn't follow politics closely can hate a person much easier than they can hate an idea.
Yeah, he's totally right. And like, you see it on the left with Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump is hated, and you saw it with George Bush when he left office, and now he's like this beloved figure. And you saw it with it's like, it's just the politics of the moment. People go into what's called the coalitional instinct, and that means that if somebody attacked Tricia, and I'm libertarian and she's libertarian, but like, I don't like Tricia, but we're on the same team, and a Democrat attacks Tricia, I'm like, I don't care what beef we have. I'm sticking up for her. I will make a meme out of this person, right? Like, and Republicans, people who are conservative, will stick up and find reasons to excuse the bad behavior of Donald Trump because they don't want to be seen allying with people on the left. And likewise, like, people on the left have a hard time going, Donald Trump did a really good thing with X, Y, and Z, because they don't want to look like traitors to their cause. And it's just basic tribalism. And like, like, if you were to sit down and you were to say, like, okay, the policies of AOC and the policies of Donald Trump, gun to my head, I'm going to pick the Donald Trump policies in terms of he's more free market than he is big government programs like, total free healthcare and Green New Deal. But like, I'm not for Donald Trump as a human being, right? Like, I just think he's like a shitty person. And AOC, I don't I don't get the vibe that she's like a terrible person. I just think she's like she's really wrong, right? So, but I don't need to pretend that she's like this evil, horrible monster because she has bad ideas. Like Bernie Sanders, I think, is sincere in his ideas. And I'm sure that there's some people who are on the opposite side of Bernie Sanders who like want to make him out to be like this horrible enemy and he's a baby killer. And it's just like, I don't like that kind of politics. Like Joe Biden's policies have definitely hurt people, killed people, and he's got to reconcile that. And we can point that out in a way that isn't deeply personal, because I think he made the point, Tricia, is that it is easy to hate one person, but I think it's harder to get people to see the problem with the system when you're picking on one person. I think it's harder for people to see the problems with Joe Biden's record on criminal justice if you're being unfair to Joe Biden instead of just picking out and pointing out what he contributed to in terms of criminal justice.
You know, it's funny because one of something I'm super passionate about is the war in Yemen.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden has explicitly said that he's going to withdraw support for the Saudis, which would be huge because they rely on our bombs and us to wage war on the Houthis. And it's a long story. Anyways, there's a huge genocide. It's probably the most disgusting thing that's happening on our planet right now. So that, I think that's really awesome. But I think a lot of people will just take that through a political lens and not take it seriously or pressure him to do more. And that's really sad to me, you know.
Or they wouldn't give credit to Joe Biden for doing the right thing, but they'd never like give Donald Trump crap for making the problem worse. Like the war in Yemen started with Obama, and Trump made it worse with an arms deal with Saudi Arabia.
Of course. Oh yeah, of course. And if Joe Biden does this, obviously I have huge differences with him, but you know what? This is something good he did. Yeah. Actually, probably one of the best things any executive could ever do. I don't think people realize how, like, what is happening there. I don't think people realize that, like, hundreds of millions of children are dying. It's greater than the Holocaust. I don't think people realize how disgusting it is. So if we can end it, I really don't fucking care if they have a D or an R in front of their name. If he's going to end it or he's going to say, fuck you to the Saudis, I'm right behind him. I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat.
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy to hear that. Like that, I really hope we can draw this down and that those people can get clean water and those babies can maybe live and not die of shitting themselves to death. So, you know, I don't really care who saved them, whether it was a Democrat or Republican. I don't give a shit.
Let's hope he actually does it instead of like saying he's going to do it and then barely doing it and then pretending that he did it, but he only did like 5% of what he should have done, you know, and that happens all the time.
And unfortunately, that's what happens with politicians.
Yeah.
Most of the time. But
Joe Biden doesn't have the most honest record in politics.
No, he does not. And I think a lot about like criminal justice reform and think, oh, dear God, this man has like made people's lives hell. Yeah. But I do hope that he, I don't know, maybe I'm being naive thinking that he will.
Well, you young kids usually are. All right, so let's go to the next one. Hey, make sure you follow the two of us on Stereo, and then we both have podcasts. My name is it's the Chris Spangle Show, and then her podcast is Gingerarchy. So check those out.
Hey,
I just joined, but Bison Beards, I love your content.
Thanks, bro.
Oh, yo, I don't have a beard.
I'll tell you what, son, you are absolutely solid.
Thank you.
Well, he was English. English.
You are absolutely solid.
Jolly good.
Pip, pip, cheerio. I feel so bad for British people when they like call in because we're just like, hello, let's do the Dick Van Dyke accent.
Hello, hi, jolly good.
Wow. That's what I did to your mom last night.
Yo, nigga. That's not how the electric go, bitch. You better shut the fuck up and let me finish. Idiot, you stupid ass bitch. You gotta let me finish first. Dang. Stupid.
All right, I let you finish. What did that achieve, sir?
Sure who he was yelling at. Was he yelling at me? Am I the stupid bitch? I'm not sure.
I'll let you own that one.
As someone from the state of Georgia, I'm completely okay that she was removed from all her committees because she does not represent me, or the majority of the state, or at least, well, what I think is the majority. I'm completely okay with her being removed, and I would say the same for anybody from any party. If they were spouting baseless claims and lies, they don't deserve to have that honor.
Well, if we're going to start saying that politicians are not qualified to rule because of baseless claims and lies, then we're not going to have a government, Tricia.
Hey!
Wait, holy shit, this guy figured out the secret.
Yes.
Let's remove all of them from all of their committees.
Oh, motherfuckers.
I believe in lemon jump because I'm smart, idiot. You better listen to me because I'm about to come to beat your ass up. And second of all, you don't know who I am. Third of all, shut the fuck up and let me finish, bitch. And shut your white ass out. We don't need no white people in this game. And this game is only for black niggas.
Well, how do you know? How do you know that we aren't?
Yeah, I sound very black, to be honest.
All right. Okay. Listen here, Mr. King JJ.
Hey, sir. Let me get back at you.
No, let me finish.
I believe that you would have to determine what the actual meaning of, quote, crazy, unquote, is before you can start asking someone if they are. I think you sort of have to define that. If you don't, then aren't you just making a judgment and passing it on somebody?
Yeah, and this is something that I struggle with too, Tricia. Like, okay, it's easy to just call somebody conspiracy theorist and call them crazy, and like it's, you know, because you don't like their beliefs, but like there's a difference between like just have it. I don't know, like she's saying things that just are not true.
If somebody says the Earth is flat and 5G is killing their brain cells, I'm going to call them crazy, and I feel really comfortable in that.
Well,
I really do.
But I guess that's I don't think I've told you this, but I was part of a Harvard University study in media.
What? A 5G thing? Because you're a little weird about that.
No. So Harvard University, a sociologist, was studying media development, and so she got my contact info, and I talked to her for 2 hours yesterday, and I've been officially studied by Harvard as a genius.
And what was their conclusion?
She wanted to get off the phone, but you know, and she said, well, how do you know when a news organization is telling the truth or not? And that's a really good point. And I think the difference is like Joe Biden and Donald Trump are both liars, but they're liars in a different way. Like Joe Biden will fudge the truth to make himself look good. He's a traditional political liar. He will say he will misrepresent the facts or tell you half the facts to make himself look really good. Whereas Donald Trump will allow what's called the big lie. Not the small lie like Joe Biden, but the big lie, which is the claim is so wild and outrageous that it can't be proven true or false. It's just, it's irrefutable, and yet you just repeat it over and over and over and over, and people just start to believe it because it's just so it's incredulous. Like, I mean, it's, you know, a former German painter like really kind of coined the phrase and nailed it. But, you know, he wrote about it and they perfected the whole thing. But like, that's kind of what Trump and what a lot of these folks do is like, they take something like the Dominion stuff that is just absolutely provably not true. And Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, non-political people all look at it and go, yeah, this is the truth. And then they go, nuh-uh. We say it's the opposite, and you just have to deal with our truth. It's very postmodern for a lot of people who like have spent my whole life worrying about a postmodern society. Like they're the tip of the spear when it comes to like fake fake realities, which is what they all warned against when I went to Bible college. So it's just like I don't know how to tell people what the true reality is, except that if almost everybody agrees on it, except the one person who stands to like gain financially disagrees, then maybe we shouldn't listen to the person who's trying to make money.
So basically what Christopher is saying is don't believe any conspiracy theories.
I think you should listen to conspiracy theories. You should you should weigh the evidence. You should see for yourself and, make up your own mind, I guess.
There are very few conspiracies that lend themselves to truth.
No, I think people love to brag too much. Like, think about 9/11, okay? Let's say that was an inside job. You've got to have 1,000 people silenced and not say anything for 20 years now. Like, you got all the people who put the thermite in the building. You got the security guards, the people that were working late, the people that sold them the thermite, the people that worked in the CIA, the FBI, and all the deep state that blew those buildings up. Like, how many? I mean, out of those 1,000 people, they were able to kill 1,000 people with nobody noticing, or those people didn't brag to friends and family in the internet age, and then they're not on YouTube videos. Like, it just, you could get away with good conspiracies like killing Kennedy in 1960 or the Bay of Pigs or all that stuff, but you can't get away with it in the internet age. It's just way harder.
Well, no, because Alex Jones exists, so.
All right, let's burn through these. I'm so sorry. I'm filibustering, Tricia.
No, go ahead. I want to hear.
The person who said that sounded younger than you guys.
That's what I said.
What? Yep.
There's no better German superstar than the Hoff. I'm talking shit. Who do you say? Who? Germans pissed off? What?
No, Germans love David Hasselhoff. Yeah.
Fucking love him. Go ahead.
MashaAllah, Allahu Akbar.
Okay.
Allahu Akbar.
Reporting him right to Trey and Matt.
Cool.
In terms of cancel culture, you guys are not going to hear us for like another hour. Probably won't even be listening to this anymore. By the time you do get to it, you'll be talking about something different. But as far as cancel culture goes, I kind of concur with Chris in a sense. What tends to happen is when anything is pushed to its extreme, it snaps back to its polar opposite. So, although yes, people should be held accountable for vitriolic or demeaning expressions of hatred or overt degradation, disrespect of women, things like that. When it gets to a point where you're, trying to reject certain realities that are not fair, that are not necessarily offensive to most people, you lose a large group of people, and you actually increase the chances of undermining your very own effort. So that's just my thought on it.
Yeah, I agree with him. But like the thing about when people fret over like colleges and the cathedral, like,
oh God, please stop.
Those people, they go to ridiculous levels that normal people don't. They're not going to go with everyone on that stuff. Like,
right.
I just think if you sit and talk with like Miss Patton Dion, for instance, and you bring up some of the more crazy examples of, what scares Republicans about the left, and they just roll their eyes at it, right? Like, I think the right tends to take a lot of these examples, blow it up, and scare the shit out of themselves over things that they don't need to be so worried about. Like, there's its own version of fear mongering, where it's its own version of
they need boogeyman.
Yeah,
they need boogeyman. Stupid.
And I know the other side does it too, but it's just sort of like, yeah. I'm not in that world, so I don't see it, but I only know the right. But
that's the difference. Like, I'm a voluntarist. I don't need any boogeyman. Like,
that's right.
I'm gonna own myself. I don't need anybody else to scare me. I don't know.
All right, next up.
Okay.
You guys talk more louder.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
That's all right, you freak.
what are your thoughts on radical Islam?
I mean, like when they like yell "Allahu Akbar" as they're on a skateboard.
Yeah, like radical. So any religion could be radicalized. So
remember
like,
the good old Tricia. Remember the good old days when we just hated radical Islam and not each other.
I know, I do. I remember when I was a neocon.
I know, me too.
Alas, I am not.
I had a pro-war rally in 2003.
I know you did. You're a horrible person.
That's how Republican I was. I love the people who are like, "You're a dirty leftist now." I'm like, bitch, my neocon credentials are far greater than yours.
You're like, I wanted our military to burn in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
No, I mean, I guess I'm against radical Islam. Like what? What?
I know.
Who's for radical Islam?
Maybe Muhammad. I don't know.
I don't care what you believe as long as you don't hurt other people.
Yeah.
Like keep that shit to yourself.
Hurt people, don't take their stuff.
Right.
Don't hurt people, take their stuff.
You want to be the most radical Islamist, in New York City or Islamabad, I don't care. Just don't commit violence. That's all you got to do.
Well, I would say that New York City and Islamabad are two very different places.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Like you can do, I grew up in Plainfield, Indiana, which has the largest denomination of Muslims.
So white.
Yeah, so it's
you're so white.
Yeah, it's 98% white and 2% Muslim, at least at the time. And I was best friends with the brothers whose father ran it, was with Bush after 9/11. Like I saw people that went to school with Musa Nisa for years. Musa Saeed's a huge documentary filmmaker now, great guys. And I just saw friends, even in a close circle, turn on them after 9/11. And so, when I would see stories about the oppression of Muslims after 9/11, I was like, yep, I saw it firsthand. And I just saw that how decent they were, how decent their community was, how deeply committed to the American idea they were, and how America kind of turned their back on them for the sake of propaganda. And I never, ever forgot that. And I still think about it, when we're starting to talk about no-fly lists for people that have Patriot in the title of their Twitter handle. It's like, nah, I'm not for that shit either. Because I remember watching all that happen 20 years ago. People have the ability and freedom in a free society to believe the craziest shit they want. Just don't give them power and don't be violent. Those are the rules.
Yeah, but the problem is crazy people want to do that.
I know. Well,
that's the problem.
I know. That's why we have your beloved laws.
I'm curious as to what you think about cancel culture and particularly Donald Trump being banned from Twitter.
What do you think, Tricia?
I don't think it's a bad thing, to be honest. I hate parroting this, but it is a private company, and if they want to ban him, he's an idiot, and he had plenty of chances, and so ban him.
I don't feel bad for a lot of these people. I'm with you. It's like the smoking ban. We should have. It's like when the smoking ban hit, I was like, I'm opposed to it. We should not do it. I would vote against it. I've organized rally against it, but I'm gonna kind of go into the restaurant without there being smoke.
Right.
The way that, there's no doubt that Donald Trump's conspiracy mongering just threw fire on all this stuff, right? And it's going to probably get better without that presence there. But you don't make it better by removing it. You make it better by more speech, explaining it, convincing people, moving people away from it. So I just think that once you push people off onto different platforms, it just tends to radicalize them more.
Well, yeah. If you push people away, then they will go far away and get crazy.
Yeah.
Can I just say this? Nobody cares about black people. Biden, Trump, Bush, Obama. I mean, you can go on. Listen to all this shit. All right? We're doing for self. That's what we're doing right now. That's the goal.
Can I speak to that?
Please.
I would say that politicians don't, and they're posturing, and they don't give a shit about you. But here's the difference. Like, then you give a shit about you. You volunteer in the community. You know, I work with a program about bail reform, and it has a huge effect on the Black community. So, like, do something in a community then. You know, don't wait for politicians to do something for you. They're never gonna fix your lives. Like, a vote and a ballot, it doesn't mean that much. But, like, issues and, like, standing up for what you believe, that means a lot. So, you know, go community.
Politicians care about their power and enriching their friends and themselves more than they care about you. You have to care about you. You have to do everything you can to take away their money and power and give it back to yourself and to your community. And if anybody, like, I completely understand why Black Americans view voting as a form of self-protection against somebody that wants to hold a rally on Juneteenth, right? Like, I get it. I totally think it's rational. I just, you're exactly right. Like, they do care on some level, but the bureaucracy, the administrative state is so large that it's very hard for them to effectuate change.
Yeah. You affect change in your community, and fuck the politicians, because you own yourself.
Yeah, so politicians do what the community does first.
Right.
The lockdowns weren't going to happen until the NBA and NCAA closed everything down themselves. So you can influence everything. So next up.
Not exactly all politicians, but like some politicians, like Donald Trump, he cared more about the money, not the people of the United States, like he said.
So does Joe Biden. Like, all politicians care about money. Like, that's their main influence. Do you look at, like, Congress? They're influenced basically by special interests.
Yeah.
What rules the day? So, it's not particularly one side or the other.
Next up.
Also, sorry if, like, my recordings sound like Garbo because I just got this app and I'm just getting used to everything. So thank you guys. You guys are pretty interesting to listen to.
Thank you, Fatima. Cool. We'd love for you to listen to our podcasts. She's got Gingerarchy. Yeah, I've got the Chris Spangle Show. I'm also on the Pat Down podcast. So check those out.
Amazeballs.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
No, thank God it's Friday. TGIF, brother.
It's Friday. Yes.
Excuse me, but it's hello, not
hello.
I don't know who you think you are.
Hello.
Who do you think you are?
Let's go for some.
British.
Let's get on the lolly.
No. Hello, jolly good.
I like fish and chips, eh? We're so rude.
And as a multicultural, mentally disabled female, I feel so much safer in this country than with Biden in office than with Trump in office.
Yeah, it's all the same damn thing. But okay.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with you at all. Like, I think if you're a person of color, like you and I, look at the Friends, and we know what white people say to white people when only white people are around. White people got a lot more comfortable being ugly the last 5 years, and I think that the warning system within people of color was going, these people are gonna fucking kill me. Like,
yeah, no, I get that. I just think, like, I don't worry about a politician, like.
Yeah, but it's not but Tricia, it's not the politician people are worrying about. It's the way that politician affected their neighbors. It's like, I don't really hate Donald Trump. He's kind of just he's an irrelevant stooge. It's just that
he's an idiot.
I hate the way that he influenced people I care about with the way that he acted. It made them act horrible.
Well, they're kind of fucking idiots then.
Yeah. All right, next up.
To be honest.
I don't know who the fuck let Makembe Mutombo submit voice messages and why y'all keep playing them, but she needs to set that ass down somewhere.
Listen, Makembe is going to come after you, brother.
What's happening?
Okay, what is this dude doing? It's kind of freaking me out.
I think this must be back when.
You?
I think this is back when.
Chris, it's all you.
No, I think it's back when
I'm not a dude.
When King Vajayjay was calling in and leaving messages.
What, JJ?
Yeah, King whatever, telling us to shut up because we're whitey.
If you want me to define crazy, it's the Proud Boys or whatever white supremacy people that there are out there. I agree with Canada's decision to put them on the list of terrorist groups. I wish the U.S. would do the same.
Yeah, I mean, they're nuts. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with putting... So here's what I'd say about that. Like, again, going back to the Muslim example earlier, once you just blanket people, like, you're part of this associated group, and so therefore you're designated a terrorist, it opens up all kinds of civil liberty violations for people that didn't necessarily do anything wrong. Like, there are Muslims that are on the no-fly list that never did anything wrong. They just shared the wrong name with somebody. So we've got to be really, really, really careful with just blanket designations of these people are terrorists because, it not only does it violate their civil liberties, it also pushes those people further into that identity and they become more radicalized because they sort of go, well, if I'm a terrorist, then fuck it, I'll be a terrorist. Right. So we've got to be really, really careful about how we address all this stuff. And I'm not saying... like, just ignore and give them what they want and let's just not let them bully people around because we don't want to make them mad. That's not what I'm saying. We need to take a scalpel to a problem instead of just a nuclear weapon. So, all right, next one.
Guess we know that some people don't need to have access to stereo.
Yeah, it's definitely back when that guy was on.
I guess everybody's screwing everything. I'm going to say this.
Okay.
Nobody cares about black people but influencers who make money off of us. It is what it is. And we're going to make profits. We're going to come up. This is our year.
No.
And you know what? I'm tired of this fake love, this wannabe love. Like, oh, we want to unite. You don't. You don't. It's all good. We built this country. We built this city.
I would say, J-Ski...
We built this city on rock and roll. I love people. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and I totally understand that cynicism. I will say that I've never seen in the last year a total turnaround and willingness to understand black culture from not just like, hey, we're going to steal your styles and trends and be culture vultures, but like, no, I really think I'm fucking up here. I need to understand what they're talking about. So I really, when you drive in the richest parts of town, you see Black Lives Matter signs. You would not have seen that 50 years ago. So I do think there's a big, like we were just saying, like when you're a white person, and it's just us whiteys together, you hear what people say, and it's much different now than it was even 20 years ago when I was coming up. So in a positive direction. So I think people are starting to care. I just don't think that you can look at the government to kind of heal this problem, bring us together, because government just inherently divides us because it's essentially one group forcing another group to do something. But culturally, I think I feel hopeful for the future. So I don't know about you, Tricia.
I hope so. Like, in a lot of ways, I kind of feel over the last 20 years, we've stepped backwards, and it's maybe a little bit depressed. Like, I see a lot of race relations and the way people look at other people and other races, and it seems like it's a little bit backwards, and it bothers me. But at the same time, like, as far as governments, I do feel like there's hope. Like, I always do. I don't know. Maybe I'm a person that looks through a rose-colored glasses, but
right.
There's always hope.
Donald Trump's lies actually killed people.
What?
Yeah.
What happened? What happened?
And if any of you guys think that Joe Biden is a pedophile, find me proof. And I don't mean stupid articles out of Facebook. Find me legitimate proof. Thank you.
No, I don't think Joe Biden's a pedophile.
Well, I just think it's creepy as fuck. I don't know.
Walking around sniffing
But most
everybody.
politicians are, so whatever.
Joe Biden will pat you on the back and tell you to be all right, even though it's not going to happen. And Donald Trump will just tell you no way.
Yeah, that thought process is why we're literally on the brink of a Civil War II. Well, we were before. Well, we kind of are. I'm not sure. Things have calmed down since the transition, but like, it's why we're at like the brink of a Civil War II.
What?
Yeah, I forget what we were talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
Money is like the last thing we should be worrying about. We should all have human decency for each other. Like,
well, yeah.
Hey, don't forget, Spangle, it was super nanothermite. And the guy from the documentary said nobody knew about it, but obviously he did.
Right, Ron Milford weighing in here.
Do you guys have any advice? I'm scared to talk to people. I'm pretty shy. Do you guys have any advice?
Man, I totally missed what he said. What does he want to talk to girls or what?
Okay. If you want to talk to girls, just talk to them.
They tell everybody, and I'm going to say this in the most PG manner I can. They tell everybody, screw your feelings, when they're the ones throwing fits. Like, they're just total hypocrites.
Yep.
Well, that's politicians. They're hypocrites.
Yeah. I think she was talking about Republicans, but that applies too.
Oh, well, that's politicians in general.
Okay, then. To be honest, before all of this happened, I was neither Democrat nor Republican, and I still kind of am. In fact, I live in our bioregion that I live in is Cascadia, and it's been an independence movement since like 2015. And I just wanted us to secede so bad. Like, we were already in the middle of a lot of stuff, so yeah.
Oh, look, that's this Tom Woods fan.
I love you.
Let's just have fun. And I'm like,
all right.
I was considering converting to Islam for a while. In fact, I did when I was in college last year before I had to drop. And then I met my boyfriend, and he brought me right back to my Catholic roots. So, but I do support Muslims. They're not evil at all.
Okay. Girl, you're cute. I want to date you. Do you want to date me? Let me know.
Tricia, do you want to date him?
Not particularly, but thank you. I appreciate the offer.
Wow. All right. Fine.
I'm sure that if they hadn't have banned him, we would have seen more violence at the Capitol, more violence throughout this nation. And honestly, personally, I just want peace everywhere right now. Like, we're already going through enough with this COVID stuff. And yeah.
Peace is good.
I like porn.
Okay. Christopher, I can't.
I know. I know. It's like Fatima's out here bearing her soul, and then just Captain Jackasses are like, I like corn.
Unlike Trump, Biden actually cares about his people.
Well, I mean, he pretends to care.
Yeah.
Looks good at it. He does a good job pretending.
I feel like you're very cynical. I feel like you need to be less. Like, are you this cynical about Republicans too?
Oh, I just am cynical about politicians. So, in general, I don't really care if you're left or right. I don't care about that. So.
I have a question for like one of y'all. Do you like Apple or Samsung?
Apple, please.
Android is gay.
Yeah,
super gay.
I'm
like,
not poor.
Not like cool gay. Yeah. I remember, wait, when we were first friends, I was like, do you want to FaceTime? I go, do you have an iPhone? You're like, well, yeah, I'm not poor.
Yeah. What am I, gross?
What's the best way to become more woke? Do you personally listen to more podcasts? What would you do?
You have to listen to Chris Spangle to be woke.
I mean, I don't know that I consider myself woke. It's just that I try to see every person as a human being and start there. I pretend.
No, stop.
I pretend women are people.
Oh my God.
That's actually the guy who did the Game of Thrones. He goes, "How do you write women so well?" And he goes, "Well, I pretend they're humans." And start there.
Yeah, and honestly, I would be doing things for my community right now. It's just that my mental disabilities make it so difficult to communicate with people from a distance. In fact, before this whole pandemic, I used to communicate this and navigate this world through touch. And having that taken away has just been hell for me.
Interesting.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, I miss people too.
So, to the person who said that nothing's been done for black people by the liberals, let's see. The unemployment during Obama's time, the unemployment rate for African Americans peaked at 16.8% in March 2020.
Mm-hmm.
The real median income of black households increased by 4.1% between 2014 and 2015. The president enacted permanent expansions of the Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit, which together now provides about 2 million African American working families with an average tax cut of about $1,000 each. A recent report from the Census Bureau shows the remarkable progress that African American families have made as the recovery continues to strengthen. Real median household income grew by 5.2% from
Did he straight up read that?
Yeah, and I would say that if you looked at white households, they would probably benefit from that more.
Yeah,
welfare benefits all people, and there's more white people, so it probably it benefited more white people than black people.
Are you ready?
Doesn't really matter.
Are you sleepy? We can end if you want. You sound like you're about ready to fall asleep.
I know. Stop. I am maybe a little bit.
Tricia has a newborn, so she's.
I do.
She's not drunk.
No, I'm just really fucking tired.
All right. All right. Next question.
And that's what I don't like about our government is they're all greedy for money. Like when their job is to actually care for us and protect us.
Okay. No, they
absolutely disagree. He may care about money because that's how the system works, but he is the one who's going to help the lower class. Trump would never do anything to help the lower class. As much as Republicans want to convince themselves that he would have, he is only about himself and enriching his friends, not about the low, poor people.
That guy sounded like Harry, didn't he?
A little bit. He's got a little Harry in him.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in Virginia.
Holy shit.
Hello. Welcome in Virginia. Please come tomorrow after 2.
Who's allowing their preteens on this?
What the hell? Oh my god!
Keep your preteens off of this app. That's the.
Do you make money off of this? Question mark.
Yeah. I mean, on stereo, it looks like we'll probably get $100 off of this, so it was worth the time. And then,
I can't even, Chris.
Yeah, no, I don't get out of bed for less than $100, Tricia.
I'm just dying. This is the weirdest thing that's ever happened.
Listen, if I'm not having fun and I'm not making money, I'm not going.
Are you having fun? Because this is so weird.
I know. I love listening to these.
I do too.
Too much silence.
Hello.
Yo. Anal beads. No beads.
Anal beads. I can't.
All right.
I can't.
Do you make money over this or what?
Actually, yeah. Chris makes about $20,000 every time he does it.
Every single stereo, $20,000.
It's about $20,000.
Yo, anal.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. I mean, people care about black people. They stop caring about you when you stop caring about everybody and you keep thinking that nobody likes you.
People like me, though. I'm very well liked.
The funny thing about
People
this
like
app
me.
is that people will make grand pronouncements like, shut up. Nobody likes you because you don't like any. Like, they just make grand pronouncements.
Well, people like me.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Who cares? Like, it's really America. We could do it. It's the land of the free.
I feel like a lot of people get on this weed and smoke weed and then just comment on people's...
What's up? Hello.
Hello.
I'm Joshua. No.
Oh, well, hello.
Eat my ass.
In my ass.
Oh.
In your ass.
He wanted actually.
Let me tell you something. I'm not a racist, but I'm getting sick and tired of all these damn black people thinking that I'm a racist.
Okay, well.
I'm tired of it.
I have a question. Would you rather vote for Trump or Biden?
I don't know what if I think he asked if you'd rather hump Trump or Biden.
Neither.
I have a question. Would you rather vote for Trump or Biden?
Listen, little dude.
You said hump.
No, he said vote.
I didn't vote for either of those people.
No,
I won't.
But did you hear that? He's like clearly 8, and he's like, oh, I better lower my voice.
Are you mad at this child, Christopher?
I'm mad at his parents. This is what's wrong with America. Get this child off this app. This is not a family program because we've got people screaming the N-word. He can't hear that sort of thing.
Comparing Biden to Trump is just like which turd is shinier.
That's right, sir.
Yes, I would quite agree.
Okay, so basically, my question.
Listen to him.
Would you rather vote for Trump or Biden? Be honest.
He's like trying to lower his voice, so he said,
I'm being honest. I didn't vote for either of them.
Yeah, I voted for
I voted for a third party.
Yeah, I voted
for Joe and Spike.
I wouldn't vote for either of them. I would not vote if I didn't have a libertarian choice.
No, I would agree.
Civil War II sounds like the shittiest sequel ever.
Well, let's see.
What? Okay.
Does this work at all, or what?
Better be good.
Godzilla for president. Godzilla for president.
All right. It's so bad. I could listen to this all. I don't know if anybody else is entertained, but these people.
Keep going.
I love Islam. Islamic State for my country.
Hello. Akbar.
I love Islam. Rest in peace to God. Osama bin Laden. Come on, Islam. To the world and back.
Actually, my friends, like, my favorite type of porn, I say, is probably like anime porn or like Godzilla porn. Godzilla has a big wing dong, so you gotta.
What?
Good show, guys.
Thank you. Great show. Yeah.
Oh, I love Islam.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
don't put this on either of our episodes.
No, we have to put it on Gingerarchy. This is too good.
No, it's horrible.
We can put it up on the bonus then. We got to post
Put it on the bonus.
Okay.
Put it on the bonus.
Right.
It's horrible.
You can join the Patreon at patreon.com/wearelibertarians. Make sure you follow both of us for the next time we go live.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, Ginger, let's watch Firefly Lane.
I don't even know what this guy's saying.
What the fuck?
Hey, would you rather vote for Trump or Biden?
Oh my God, kid! I swear to God, I will put you in timeout if you don't stop asking this. I swear to God, I will take away your DS if you don't stop it.
Joe Biden's racist, Trump's not racist, and more go on.
Is this his friend?
Go home.
No, listen.
Do your homework.
Do your homework.
Go home.
Do what I did when I was 10 years old and watched Walker, Texas Ranger on the Pluto app.
Oh, shit.
What platform do you get your information from? And how do you know that it's not scripted or completely biased?
That's for sure.
Okay, so there's a website called memorandum.com. I'm going to answer her very seriously. Very serious question.
I'm so upset.
So it's
so bad.
It's not bad at all. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's bad.
Trisha,
okay,
we have had 90 listeners the whole time. We're setting records.
I am like dying laughing.
Okay, so it's like meme. MEMEORANDUM.com. Just go to that website every day, memorandum.com, and you'll get a ton of great news from across the spectrum.
GameStop to the moon.
No. Hold.
Dogecoin, baby.
We need to re-educate the motherfucking population. Yeah, our kids are going to grow up retarded.
Listen, I think we should start a camp.
That's Chris's job.
Yeah.
I do. Chris is going to have a retarded camp.
I don't think you're allowed to say that word.
Oh, my God. I didn't know it said
Before I
that
go,
word.
I want anybody who's listening to go to my profile and find my Twitter. And
Stop.
This is
we need you to self-promote. This is not your promotion.
This is our go to Chris Spangle.
This is us.
ChrisSpangle.com, bitch.
Hello.
So I have no idea who you guys are. I've just come across you on stereo as I've opened the app. So who are you guys?
You have a
and
fake
what do you do?
accent.
Yeah.
Tebe, his accent was so fake.
Tebe is fake as fuck. No, so I am Chris Spangle. I am a podcast host on the Chris Spangle Show and the Pat Down, and she is a podcast host at Gingerarchy. And you can go check us out at wearelibertarians.com.
Woo! Booyah!
Hey, look on your account, Gingerarchy. Gingerarchy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a world where gingers rule.
Please follow us.
Yes.
Here on stereo. So next time we go live, you get great quality content like this. Hey, Tricia, by the way, we're being listened to by 69 people.
I don't know how you can say that this is the land of the free when you literally get a ticket for driving around without a seatbelt on. It doesn't seem very free.
Well, I mean...
Excuse me, Diamond Sanchez. Maybe you could not stand in the shower when you talk to us.
There's consequences for your actions, like being made fun of when you have such a shitty quality audio
what
there.
What the fuck was that?
Rude.
Do you believe the paragalactic universe can collide to perform the parallel tectonic plates?
Yes.
Allow them to...
All right, Yassine, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to need you to do less mushrooms. If you're going to get on this app, you need to articulate, you need to talk clearly, and you need to not do psilocybin before you get on this podcast app.
Tectonic plates?
I don't know what he was talking about.
Wow.
Is your hair actually red or is it orange?
No, well, it was orange when I was a child, and it's like darker and more red now, just because I'm getting older. So both Chris and I are gingers, so respect.
Yep, and her carpet is gray.
Oh, wait, what? Did you say gray?
Yeah, so
who are you guys? Like,
we answered that.
It's like Kevin McAllister talking on his talk boy, trying to act like an adult.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. You know what?
Hey. Lucky Slush.
It's not funny.
Next, yeah.
Hi, have you seen the preview for Coming to America 2? It is hilarious. They go back to New York, Queens, New York, where the guy has a son, and he tells the woman, he's like, I had one woman I was with before you, and she's like, oh, well, you're not the first man I was ever been with. And he's like, wait a minute, what?
I saw, I was recording a podcast, and I saw it, and I couldn't click on it and watch it, but it did look funny. I saw all the characters return.
No, and I love Coming to America, like the original, so I'm hoping that the sequel is cool. Yeah.
Lucky Slush.
Okay,
thank you.
You're going to be banned.
Hi, guys. I'm a female rapper just trying to get my stuff out there. Angelraps.com. Thanks.
Well, now you owe us $15. That's how much advertising costs, Angel.
Pay us.
And I know where to find you at angelraps.com.
I've been listening to Ginger laugh for 20 straight minutes. I love your laugh.
Yeah, that... Jeez.
Biden's racist and Trump's the best. And Morgan Wallen got his recording record taken away because it said that
I don't know what's happening right now.
He said Biden's racist and Trump is the best, and some country star got his shit taken away because he was racist.
Oh,
listen here, little
Wallen guy.
Listen here, young man. I need you to go read White Rage, or Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? Let's just, let's
what?
Maybe a little Robin DiAngelo. Let's get you going here, young man.
Can we please talk about how the United States Navy has confirmed aliens? Like we just as a whole community, we just fucking ignored that shit. That shit is crazy.
You know what, Astroworld? I am so fucking with you right now. Because all this shit happened, and then, the government was like, oh, by the way, aliens are real. And nobody paid attention.
Yeah.
Christopher, we need to talk about this.
But we're going to have to do it on the next episode.
Okay,
I wasn't promoting myself. I'm looking for evidence of voter fraud. People are coming on here and spouting that nonsense. I just want some evidence of voter fraud. And all I'm asking. And the only way people can communicate with me is through Twitter. So please, communicate with me and show me some evidence. I want evidence. I'm not promoting myself. My Twitter has I just created a Twitter account and there's no followers.
All right, Aries,
He's like, I'm not promoting myself, but here's my promotion.
Yeah, no, listen, look up the Heritage Foundation. And
that's the worst. No, don't look it up.
No, that's what I'm saying. So go to the Chris Spangle Show, go to wearelibertarians.com, look up, just search voter fraud, look at the show notes in that episode. We have 16 pages of research there. And the Heritage Foundation spent 20 years trying to find voter fraud to prove that this existed. Because the long story short, Nixon got the 1960 election stolen from him because unions in Texas and Chicago just tilted it for Kennedy. And so they spent the last 60 years securing the electoral system, and then after succeeding, basically claiming it was all fraud. And so the Heritage Foundation did this study trying to find election fraud, and what they found over 20 years, this is a Republican think tank, they found that voter fraud only happens once or twice every election cycle, and it happens in a very local area. Voter fraud exists. It happens in every election. It happens in every state, but it's very minimal. You can't change 11 million votes across several states.
Voter fraud happens because obviously the system is not perfect, but it doesn't happen on the scale that it even means anything.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You gotta bring the heat early.
How is your day going, guys? Just wondering. Because mine's going great.
You know what? She sounds so sweet.
I know. Her voice is really fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Yes, my day is actually going really well. It's been very long. I've been working since 6 a.m. I'm tired. Trisha's tired, but we're here for you. We love you, and make sure you, as a thank you for just soldiering through and bringing you this beautiful comedy, please go like our profile on Stereo. So next time we do this, you can be a part of it and be as weird.
I need more people. Please love me, people. I need more of you. Like man.
Bruh, my pussy too huge, bruh. Come on, Chris, make it bigger.
Okay, you're just really gross. I don't listen. Maybe that
you want to do something with your penis, Chris?
Well, never mind. I was going to say something. Never mind.
Okay.
Firefly Lane is on it.
Hello, guys. How you feel?
Oh my God.
Okay, this is like a teenage girl party. So that sweet-voiced girl is just—it's her and eight other 16-year-old girls on fucking around on this app in the middle of a party. You know, they're probably like 13, and the room smells like farts.
And they're like, "Let's fuck with these libertarians."
Right? You know,
and I don't blame them. I just don't blame them.
Little Polly Pocket posters on the wall. They're talking about boys. One of them has braces. Just children should not be listening to this show.
How are you guys feeling today? It's National Poop Day. How do you feel?
See, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like I need to poop. To be honest, Faith, I feel like I need to poop.
Boobs. Like they're probably
boobs and poop.
They just said,
boobs and poop.
They said that and they went.
Jojo, you would make a fantastic female Riddler.
I don't know what had just happened.
I think you'd make a fantastic female Ripper, so I think he thinks you should kill people.
Oh, well, yeah, I could do that. Totally.
Sorry, not Riddler. I meant Joker. I just love your laugh.
I don't know what happened.
He thinks you should be the next Joker because your laugh is so great.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, so it's National Poop Day today, and I just want to know, how is your poop going?
I did poop once today. Thank you.
I pooped twice. It was very aggressive because I've been eating. Once. Yeah, I've been eating a lot of oranges.
Oh no!
And so the fiber, Faith has just really like flushed me clean, and so when I poop, it's just very explosive coming out of my anus.
You know, not so much for me. Like my poop has
you
been
guys
very.
Please touch on the fact that the United States Navy.
Okay, we did this one already. Is it just repeating or what?
I'm actually an alien, so like I'm right here. We don't have to confirm anything.
What if he really was?
Okay, thanks. Well, you know what? Then okay. Here we go.
Now they have me wondering if Roger from American Dad is out here really fucking people and shit like that.
It's possible.
I'm sorry about my last message. I'm at work and I didn't think it'd be that loud. I have headphones on and yeah, I didn't realize it was that loud. My bad.
It's okay.
We don't even know what your last message was.
No idea.
Okay.
I mean, if you're gonna saw, please take your woodworking off the air.
Oh my God!
I think that United States needs to just put them.
Oh, I didn't figure out what
we bring it.
Oh, what?
I think that the United States should just put, Trump and Biden in a ring and just let them duke it out.
I mean, I'm not opposed.
It'd be huge.
Oh no! Please, Lord, help me! They're having pillow fights and makeup parties.
Exactly right. Like we're gonna go in here and talk about boys, and then one of us will talk about the first time we got our period, and the rest of us will be intimidated because we haven't gotten ours yet.
What?
You know that's what's going on.
This is the worst, Christopher. This is the worst stereo ever. This is not getting recorded for anything.
They just had Pizza Hut and watched Finding Nemo. Now they're talking about poop on stereo.
Y'all bitches need stuff from pizza and poop.
Hey, Ginger Artie, I'm gonna follow you. Oh, Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll catch you out there. You said you're libertarian, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
I think you need to get that checked out for real. Like, if you're pooping twice a day, and it's like,
I only poop once a day.
No, if you eat
pooping twice a day is healthy.
If you eat 3 meals a day, you should be pooping 3 to 4 times a day max.
Yeah,
or minimum.
That's actually healthy. Yeah, that's actually healthy.
Let's watch firefighting.
My man, that's what I'm talking about. Explosive excrement.
You know, it's funny that you guys talk about aliens now because aliens have been around for so long.
Did we talk about
if you look at the Bible and other historical places and or whatever, just look up the Nephilim and try to figure stuff out there.
Yeah.
Every god that we ever had was an alien.
Please stop. This guy I feel like. No.
What do I do if I just come down the wall? How do I hide it? Tastes like salt.
Okay. All right.
What?
You are a fucking creep.
What is happening?
And I want.
This is not getting. No, we're not recording any of this.
No, I want this person in jail. I want them watched. I know I said many good things in support of civil liberties earlier. I take it back. Someone find out who this man is and follow him.
Scenario we've ever done.
No, this was so much fun.
I know. Keep going.
All right. No, we've got one more. This is the last one.
Okay. Oh, dear Jesus.
I fucking ate so hard that her pussy.
Okay. All right. Just
okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I told you.
We shouldn't have done one more. Oh shit.
Question: Star Wars or Star Trek?
Get out of here, nerd. All right.
I can't.
Tricia, this has been a lot of fun.
Dad. All right. So this is not going on any show.
No, I'm putting it on.
Super fun.
I'm putting it on the bonus. I'm telling you right now, it's going.
You are.
Oh yeah.
It's been ridiculous.
It's been so much fun.
So ridiculous. All right.
All right.
Have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, I'm so glad I took the last one. All right. Goodbye, Tricia.
Okay. Good night. Signing off.